Morning dear student. As yesterday we have discussed about the voltaic cell or the galvanic cell, so let's revise with a summary of the voltaic cell. As yesterday we have discussed that it contains two half cell. One is the oxidation half, other one is the reduction half cell. In the oxidation half cell, as oxidation takes place, so it work like a anode, and during oxidation as de-electronation takes place, so the rod is having the negative charge, that why the anode is having the negative charge. Here the de-electronation takes place and zinc ion moves in the solution, and in the similar manner in the next container, in the reduction half, the reduction takes place, means copper ion get reduced to the metal rod, the copper rod, and get deposited here. So the flow of electron would be there from anode to cathode. It work like a cathode having the positive charge, and the flow of current would be there from cathode to anode, as we are able to see. Here we see when the accumulation of positive and negative charge happen in the oxidation half and the reduction half, the equimolar amount of cation and anion discharge in the solution to neutralize these particular charges. So for that the salt bridge is there to maintain the electrical neutrality and to complete the circuit that we have discussed yesterday. We have seen that the concentration of zinc sulfate would be increased and the concentration of copper sulfate would be decreased, and the weight of the zinc rod would be decreased and weight of the copper rod would be increased. So now let's see, the next topic that we are to discuss is the electrode potential. But before that, let's discuss three cases. What are the three cases? If suppose to the galvanic cell that we have just discussed, we are connecting a battery. It means we are providing the external opposing potential, as there must be some electrode EMF of the cell. To the galvanic cell there must be some electrode potential developed, that's why the current is flowing. So to the EMF of cell we are connecting a battery and we are providing the external opposing potential to the cell. Then what will happen? There would be three conditions created in that cases. If our applied potential is less than that of EMF of the cell, whatever potential is developed in the cell, if that is greater than that of the external one, what will happen? There would not be any kind of interruption, means reaction will be continue as such. What would be the second case? If the E external would be equal to the E cell, that the applied potential is equal to the potential developed between in the cell, then the reaction would be stopped. The reaction would be stopped and no current would be flow. The third condition may be possible if we are applying more potential than that of the cell potential. Then what will happen? Now the cell will start working like a electrolytic cell. It means reaction starts in opposite direction. As we have noticed in the electrolytic cell, the opposite reaction goes on. It means now the electron will flow from copper to zinc. What we have seen in the voltaic cell, the electron flow from zinc to copper, but now it will be from copper to zinc. It means the flow of current would be there from zinc to copper. What does it mean? In the voltaic cell we have seen that copper is deposited and zinc moves in the solution, while now what will happen? Zinc is deposited and copper dissolves. Why it is so? Because in the electrolytic cell we provide current, means we are providing the electrical energy that convert a non-spontaneous reaction into a spontaneous reaction. It means now the reaction which would be taken place would be non-spontaneous otherwise. Means the opposite reaction takes place and it work like a electrolytic cell. Because in the galvanic cell, we are to convert the chemical energy to the electrical energy. But now what we are doing? We are providing the electrical energy. So it convert the electrical energy into the chemical energy in a non-spontaneous reaction form. Now let's see. We'll see the representation of the galvanic cell. How to represent the galvanic cell to any of the galvanic cell. For that, you are to remember the word lone, as I have told you yesterday also. In lone, left oxidation, anode negative. Left side, you are to show the oxidation, and oxidation always happen on anode, and anode is always negative in case of galvanic cell. So, let's see. Here in the case of zinc copper cell, anode is zinc. So, we will write down anode first. And at anode, oxidation is taking place. It means we have to take metal that is to be converted into metal ion. Means oxidation is taking place. Now, in bracket, you are to mention the concentration. That should be separated by a single vertical line. Zinc to zinc ion. C1 is the concentration. Then you are to make two vertical lines that denote the salt bridge. Thereafter, on right hand side, we are to write down the reduction part. It means we are to take in the metal ion. Thereafter, concentration, separating it by a vertical line, and then metal. So that is a general representation, and this is the representation for the voltaic cell. Metal to metal ion, its concentration, salt bridge, then metal ion, concentration, again metal. Means left hand side anode and right hand side cathode. And what we see? We see that the flow of electron would be there from anode to cathode, and flow of current would be there from cathode to anode. Now let's see what is electrode potential. And to understand it, we are to take a metal rod that is being dipped in its own ions. Means we are to take the electrolytes containing the same ion that we are taking the metal of. So the metal is to be dipped in the same metal ion. So there would be three observations possible in the cases. The first observation that we will observe is that if we dip a metal rod in its own ion, the metal ion from the solution move towards metal and get deflected back without doing any change. Without making any change means there would not be any kind of reaction taking place here. The second case that we may observe is that the metal ion from the solution move towards the metal rod, and after gaining electron, means after electronation, it would get reduced. The third possibility is that the metal from the metal rod move towards the solution by de-electronation, and metal ion converted into metal ion, and it means it would get oxidized. So there are these three possibilities when we dip a metal rod into its own ion. Now, on which factor these possibilities depends. So let's see. We are to talk about mainly these two cases, the second and third possibilities. The case first is, it means I am talking about the second possibility. So I have written here the case second. Otherwise, it is a case first. If metal ions have relative higher tendency to get reduced. If metal ions have relatively higher tendency to get reduced, it means that the metal ion from the solution move towards the rod, gain electron, and converted into metal, it means they will be get reduced. If suppose metal ion from the solution move towards the rod, it means now the solution would be negatively charged, and at it is consuming the negative charge from the rod, it means now rod would be positively charged. I think you must be getting now. Metal ion is moving. Here in the electrolyte, we are having the positively and negatively charged ion. The metal ion is common from the metal. So the metal ion is moving towards the rod. It means now only negative charge is being left in the solution if they are again and again moving towards the metal rod. And as they are gaining the electron from the rod, it means now the rod is only having the positive charge. But the process would not go continuously. Why? Because the number of negative charge would be developed here and there would be repulsion and the process would be stopped. So there is the separation of the charge happening here, and there would be some potential developed between the potential developed on this electrode due to the separation of the charge. The potential developed due to the separation of the charge. So there would be the potential developed here. As reduction is taking place at this rod, that's why reduction potential is developed over here. So we may say that is solution will be negatively charged with respect to the electrode. The solution would be having negative charge, rod would be having positive charge, potential would be developed, and as reduction is taking place, so reduction potential is being developed. The next thing, if suppose I am talking about the third possibility. In the third possibility, as I have told you, that the metal ion is having the tendency to get oxidized. It means the metal after de-electronation move towards the solution in the form of metal ions. It means now when the positive charge is moving from the rod to the solution, the rod would be negatively charged and the solution would be having more positive charge. Here we are having the electrolyte that is having the positive and negative charge, and it was neutral. But as the positive charge is moving in the solution, it means now the solution is positively charged and the rod is negatively charged. It means oxidation is taking place here. The potential is developing again due to the separation of the charges, and that's why it is getting the oxidation potential developed in the particular cell. But it would also not be the continuous process. Why? Because number of positive charge would be developed in the solution, repulsion would be there, and the process would be stopped. So that's why we have written the equilibrium sign over here. Means the process will not be continue and the equilibrium would be established between two. Now it can also be defined with the other terms that are the SP and OP. What is SP and OP? That is the solution pressure. And what is the solution pressure and osmotic pressure? SP means solution pressure and OP means osmotic pressure. In case of reduction, we may say that reduction is taking place due to the tendency of osmotic pressure being greater than that of the solution pressure. So what is osmotic pressure? The tendency of the metal ion to get reduced is known as the osmotic pressure, and the tendency to get oxidized of a metal is known as the solution pressure. It means these two possibilities are also depends on whether the solution pressure is greater or the osmotic pressure is greater. If the solution pressure is greater, so solution pressure is the tendency to get oxidized of the metal. That's why the solution pressure is greater than that of the osmotic pressure, then the metal get oxidized. Means solution pressure is more. That's why the metal is being oxidized. That is being de-electronation and move towards the solution. As solution pressure is more, so the metal is converted into the metal ion by de-electronation process. While, as I have told you, the osmotic pressure is the tendency to get reduce of the metal ion. Means osmotic pressure is more. That's why the metal ion is moving towards the electrode and get reduced. It means higher tendency to get reduced means osmotic pressure is more, and higher tendency to get oxidized is solution pressure is more than that of the osmotic pressure. So finally we may say, so a potential difference exists between exists between them. It is due to the separation of the charges. As I have told you, the potential difference is developing in both the process due to the separation of the charges, as we have seen. So we may say the tendency of an electrode to lose or gain electron when it is in contact with its own ion is known as its electrode potential. Electrode potential can be defined as the tendency to lose or gain electron when it is in contact with its ion, then it is only developed. It may be oxidation potential or reduction potential. In this case, it is reduction potential. In this case, it is oxidation potential. So, as we are not able to calculate the oxidation potential or the reduction potential alone of a particular cell, means I would not be able to calculate the reduction potential or the oxidation potential of these half cells only. So it is to be calculated with respect to the other cell which electrode potential is known, and that is known as the reference electrode, and that is also known as the standard hydrogen electrode. That is also known as SHE or NHE. SHE means standard hydrogen electrode or normal hydrogen electrode. So tomorrow we will discuss about how to determine the electrode potential, whether it is oxidation potential or the reduction potential, with the help of a reference electrode. What are the standardized conditions that is being standardized by IUPAC convention, by which we can calculate the standard reduction potential or standard oxidation potential, on the basis of which we have developed the electrochemical series. But before that, let's see. I have written E cell is equal to E oxidation plus E reduction, because yesterday we have discussed about the voltaic cell, or summarize today also. So what we have seen, there is the potential difference developed between two half cells. That's why a E cell developed, and that can be written as the E oxidation plus E reduction. So the cell potential may be defined as the sum of oxidation potential plus reduction potential. So now the next part we will discuss later on. Till the time, you make notes of and study it properly. Thank you.